Hi, I'm Brian Wiklendt. I'm lead counsel at Garfinkel Schwartz. I'm coming to you from our Maitland, Florida office today. I'm actually preparing for a mediation that's going to take place in Orlando tomorrow, and I just thought I'd take a break for my preparation and explain what a mediation is under the Defense-Based Act. Mediations occur one of two times during the period of your claim. Number one is the insurance company's been paying you and paying for your medical treatment, and you're at what's called maximum medical improvement. So you have disabilities and you're going to be paid indefinitely for your lack of earning capacity for your future. However, both parties decide that it may be in everyone's best interest to get a lump sum together for your future medical expenses and for your future compensation benefits, and have the insurance company close their file out and have you get a lump sum to move on with your life. When that happens and both parties agree to that, because we're talking about a good deal of money in terms of a lump sum, normally both sides would like to do a more formalized negotiation than just over the phone. So what we do is a mediation. For instance, tomorrow's mediation is taking place in Orlando. I have a person from St. Petersburg, Florida, who's an annuities broker who's going to be there with us. The mediator is coming from Jacksonville, and the opposing counsel is coming from San Francisco, California. So we're all going to converge and meet at a hotel near the airport. We'll have 2 rooms available, and we'll go back and forth and see if we can hammer out some sort of an agreement. If we can't, then we just move forward, and benefits continue to be paid just like nothing ever happened. The second reason why mediation would occur is when we're involved in litigation and we have a court date coming up, and both sides, one side or the other, decides that it might be in their best interest, instead of going to a judge to have their claim adjudicated where you can win or lose, and it could be a 0 or a lot, or somewhere in between, and you don't have control over the situation. That's when both parties decide they might want to do a mediation instead of going to a judge in the near future and have their fate handed by a judge that makes the determination on his or her own. And so I just wanted to explain that a mediation is simply, it's all voluntary. It's not an arbitration where nothing is binding. Everything is private and confidential during the mediation, and they seem to tend to work out pretty well. There's only 3 ways a mediation can end. 1 is you go to the judge and say this case has been settled. 2, there's an impasse, and everyone says someone ran out the door. We're not going to come to a meeting of the minds. We're going to have a trial on this matter. And 3 is we're going to keep our thoughts together. We're close enough that we might want to continue on with the mediator over the phone in the future, say for the next 10 days or so, to see if we can bridge that gap. Those are the 3 things that happen, and those are the only things that a judge or anyone else would know that's not in that room as to what the outcome of the mediation was. Just one of those 3 things. So I hope I gave you some sort of insight in terms of what a mediation is. They're obviously not scary. They're actually very fun in terms of when you see money on a table, on a piece of paper, it's different than saying things verbally. So when you have a tablet out there and there's money on one column and there's money on the other column, it turns to be kind of real. It's real at that point when it's put down on a piece of paper. Both sides usually are frustrated at the end of a mediation. The insurance company thinks they paid way too much, and the claimant thinks they got a little bit too little. And I guess that's probably the best way a mediation ends. And then of course a week later everyone's happy. But that's the best mediation that I can come up with, is both sides are sad, but then at the end of the day everything's satisfying after the paperwork goes through and the check actually comes. So again, Brian Wiklendt signing out with Garfinkel Schwartz here in Maitland. Talk to you later.